and welcome to your Vinyasa yoga class. Today we'll be moving with our breath. We'll be finding some balance postures. So if you're set up next to a wall, feel free to use the wall to help you balance. For your practice today, I encourage you to move at your own pace, to take rest when you need it, always an option for child's pose. You should not feel any pain in any of the postures, so if you do, please come out of them. And last of all, please have fun during your practice today. And with that, let's get started. We'll begin our practice today in a child's pose position. So you can bring your big toes to touch, your knees about mat width apart, send your hips to meet your heels, and begin to walk your hands out in front, allowing your body to rest over the mat. If the forehead doesn't reach, feel free to stack fists and rest your forehead on your hand. Taking a moment here to arrive on our mats and settle in for our practice. Taking a full deep breath in and clearing it away. Beginning to send your breath into your hip creases, into your lower back, finding a length through the spine. And exhale, maybe allowing your torso to rest down. Full breath in, full exhale. Find 3 more breaths here. Maybe you rock your forehead back and forth for a gentle massage. Finding last breath in, last empty. And pressing into your palms, pull yourself up to a tabletop position with your wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Drawing the belly button into the spine. Getting tall through the crown and melting the shoulders down the back, warming the spine with cat-cow movements. Inhale, let the belly drop, let the gaze lift. Pressing into the mat, exhale, round the spine, gaze drops down. Breathe in, pull forward, cow, shoulders melt down. Pressing to the palms, exhale, rounding the spine. 3 more rounds. Breathe in. Exhale, round. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, tail and gaze drop down. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to tabletop. Extending the right leg behind, toes can stay on the mat, or your heel can lift parallel with the floor. Notice the hips and keep them level with the mat. Maybe you stay here, or maybe reach the opposite arm out in front. Thumb reaches up. Breathe in, get long through the fingertips and the heel. Exhale, draw elbow to knee, spine rounds like cat. Breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, lengthen out, kick. Exhale, hug everything in. And lower down. Finding the second side, extending the left leg behind. And maybe the opposite arm out in front. Breathing in, lengthen out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Breathe in, reach. Breathe out, elbow to knee. One more time. Reach and kick. Exhale, hug. And lower down. Taking any movements here, maybe wiggling the hips from side to side. Maybe rolling out the wrists. And we'll set up for a first downward facing dog. From table, taking your palm 1 hand distance forward, begin to tuck the toes And on an exhale breath, send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. And a full breath in here. Full exhale. Begin to walk the knees out, bending one knee and then the other, warming up the hamstrings. Really pressing into the palms to send the hips really nice and high. And then maybe drop your heels a little closer to the floor. One more full breath in. Empty all the air, look where you're going, and just walk to meet your hands. Breathe in, hands to knees or shins, flat back. Exhale, just fold. Do that 2 more times. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. Last one, halfway lift. This time take the feet a little wider, stay in a ragdoll. Maybe grab for opposite elbows, allowing the torso to rest down. If this is too much, bring elbows to knee. Breathing here. If you have opposite elbows, find a gentle sway. Rocking out the neck, shaking the head, yes and no. Releasing the hands down, drawing the big toes to touch. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And root to rise all the way up, extended mountain, hands through heart center. Find a moment in mountain pose. Rooting all 4 corners of the feet, tucking the tail. We'll find 2 sun salutations. Breathing in to reach high. Exhale, hinge and fold. Lead with the chest. Breathe in, halfway lift. This time, hands plant. Step the feet back to a high plank. Knees lifted or lowered. Hugging the elbows into the ribs. Exhale, lower with control. Rooting the feet, inhale, light lift of the chest. Cobra. Exhale, sending the hips high, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Full breath in. Full breath out. Last one here. Lift the heels. Exhale the air. Bend the knees, look forward. Step, walk, or hop. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Hands to prayer. One more time. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders melt. Exhale, hands plant, high plank to low, or table cat-cow. Breathe in, cobra, or maybe up dog, lifting the pelvis. And exhale, downward facing dog. Full inhale. Let it go. Breathe in. Empty it out. Last inhale. Empty all the air, look forward. Step, walk, or hop. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. And with strong legs, rise up. Hands to heart center. Finding a sun salutation B variation, bringing the big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. On an inhale breath, sitting the hips nice and low for chair pose. Stay for the exhale. Breathe in, get tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands plant, high plank to low. Breathe in, cobra or up dog, strong legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, draw it forward for warrior one, a heel to heel alignment. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink into the front knee. Arms reach up. Inhale, get tall through the torso. Exhale, hands plant, step the front foot back, high plank to low. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, left leg high. Exhale, sweep it forward, warrior one, second side. Back heel is at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to bend. One more breath here. Exhale, hands plant, finding your flow, lowering with control. Inhale, heart shines forward. Exhale, let's find a child's pose. Knees can be wide or together. And connect back with your breath. Find a full breath in. Clear that away. And when you're ready, you can meet back in downward facing dog for 2 breaths. Full inhale. Let it go. Last breath in, lift the heels. Empty the air, bend the knees, look forward. Step, walk, or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Sitting the hips low, inhale back to chair pose. Exhale, mountain. Hands to the sides. Setting up for a balanced posture, rooting down through all 4 corners of the feet. Just lift the toes, all 10 toes up. Keep the arches activated and lower the toes back to the mat. Engage the legs, find a tuck of the tailbone. Finding tree pose, right foot planted, opposite foot comes to inner ankle, calf, or thigh, avoiding the knee joint. Again, if you're by a wall, feel free to place a hand on it. And once you're stable, finding a gaze point that doesn't move, maybe reach your arms up overhead. Breathing here for 3 breaths. One more inhale. Rounding down with the exhale. Breathe in, draw the knee forward, keep it lifted. Take the left knee with the opposite hand, getting tall on an inhale. Exhale, begin to twist to the left. Opposite hand can reach to the back. Maybe your gaze follows. Keeping the toes flexed. Breathe in, come back to center, keeping the knee lifted. And exhale, sending it back for warrior one pose. Again, finding a heel to heel alignment. Back toes are 45 degrees. Inhale, reaching up. Really rooting down through the back edge of the back foot and keeping the knee over the ankle. Breathing in, getting tall. And on the exhale, finding movement, hinging forward. Breathe in, rise up. Exhale to hinge. Inhale back to warrior one. This time, begin to bring your weight into the front foot as your back leg hovers off the ground, warrior three position. Chest is lifted. Back toes are pointed down, keeping the hips level like in table. 2 more breaths here, lifting up the chest, kicking back through the heel. Last inhale. Exhale, feet together, rising to mountain. It's a lot of work for the standing leg. Just shake out the hips. This time, finding tree pose with the left leg planted. Again, opposite foot comes to inner ankle, calf or thigh. Hands can stay at prayer. Reach up overhead. Or maybe they wrap around to grab opposite elbows. Rooting down to the standing leg. Really hugging the thigh muscles into the bone. Lifting through the chest. Drawing the shoulders down the back. Breathe in, release the hands, knee draws forward, taking the right knee with the opposite hand, getting tall on the inhale, twisting to the right on the exhale. Maybe the gaze in the chest follows. Breathe in. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, sending the foot back for warrior one. Finding your foundation. Breathing in to reach up. Bending into the front knee. Finding movement. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, hinge forward. Breathe in, warrior one. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, find length. This time on your exhale, sending your weight forward, find warrior three. Really pressing out through the back heel. Your body is a capital T. Maybe you just hover the toes up. Maybe this is your work. Maybe you can start to lift the heel. One more breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, feet together, and rise to mountain pose. Again, shaking that out. And finding your flow. Breathing in, reach up. Exhale, hinging from the hip creases. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands plant, high plank to low. Breathe in, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high, sweeping it forward, helping it if needed for warrior two. Dropping the back heel at a heel to arch alignment and windmilling the hands up. Your shoulders should be over the hips and bending into the front knee. This leg, the back leg, is staying straight and strong, pressing through the edge. Maybe find a tuck of the tail. Breathing here. If the shoulders are tired, feel free to turn the palms up and bend the elbows. Finding exalted warrior, breathing in, reaching forward, up and back, opening up the front ribs. Back arm can reach down the back leg or wrap around the lower back, keeping a bend in the front knee. And even though you're opening through the front body and bending through the back, try to keep a lift through the whole torso. Gaze can be up or down at the back foot. Breathing in, come back to warrior two. Begin to straighten the front knee, finding triangle pose. Reaching the front arm as far forward, sending the hips to the back of the mat. And once you've reached your edge, allow the front arm to drop down. And just bring your palms together for a moment as you draw your hand up your arm to find a nice straight line as your palm reaches up. Again, gaze can be up or down at the foot. Breathing here, 2 breaths. Begin bending into the front knee. Inhale, rise back to warrior 2. Again, straightening the front leg. Turning all 10 toes to the long edge of the mat. And out towards the corners. So your heels are in and your toes are out. Setting up for a goddess pose. So keeping your tail tucked in. Inhale, reaching your arms up overhead. And exhale, we're going to sit into a squat. Arms come to cactus. So try to keep your knees drawn open over your ankles and opening up the chest. Finding movement. Inhale, extend up, straighten the legs. Exhale, squat. 2 more times. Breathe in. Exhale, squat. Last one. Inhale. Exhale to squat. Stay in a seated position. Maybe you draw your hands to prayer. If you can, sit your hips nice and low. Maybe your elbows can come to inner thighs. It's quite a deep stretch though. Find your breath for 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, maybe sit a little lower. 2 more breaths. Last inhale. Last exhale. And rise up. And just heel toe your feet together to come to the front of your mat, and we'll find flow. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, leading with the chest, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway, shoulders melt. Exhale, hands plant, high plank to low. Or table cat-cow, lowering the knees, breathing into cat. Exhale to cat. And then meeting in downward facing dog. This time the left leg reaches up, drawing it forward for warrior 2, second side. Finding your foundation. And inhale to rise up. Scooching the front foot forward if you need a longer stance so that your knee stays over your ankle. Maybe you bend the elbows, bring your thumbs to your armpits to find level height, and then re-straighten your arms. Bend into the front knee. Breathe in. Exhale. Exalted warrior, reaching forward, up and back. Stay for the exhale. Lifting through the torso, bending into the front knee. Last inhale, last exhale. Back to warrior 2, straightening the front leg, reaching the front arm forward, hips go back, and allowing the front arm to rest down. Maybe you can reach the floor. Maybe you rest it on the inside of your shin. And top arm reaches up. 3 breaths here. Last inhale. Last exhale. Breathe in to come back to warrior 2. Straightening the front leg, turn all 10 toes to the long edge of the mat. This time, your toes are slightly in, heels are apart. Bringing your hands to your hips. Inhale, get tall through the torso. And from the hip creases, begin to fold forward just to a flat back. Maybe you stay here. or allow the hands to come down to the floor and allow the torso to rest down. Again, if this is too much, feel free to bring elbows to knees. Connecting back to our breath. Allowing the spine to drape down, allow the head to go. Begin to rock forward on the toes and back into the heels. And then find a nice middle ground. Breathe in, begin to walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Inhale, get tall, hands come to hips for the exhale. Breathe in to rise all the way up. Heel toe the feet together. You can do this at the front of your mat. I'm going to face here just so you can see me. We're going to try a new balance posture. So again, bringing the big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Inhale, set the hips low into a chair pose. Keeping the knees bent. Begin to lift the left knee up and over the right. Maybe this is where you work. Or draw the left elbow underneath the right for eagle pose. Sitting the hips nice and low. Gaze is just past the forearms. Keep the chest and the back lifted. If this doesn't work for your arms, feel free to take opposite elbow, opposite shoulders, or hands still can stay at prayer. Last inhale. Last exhale. And rise and unwind. Shake that out. Right into the second side. Big toes to touch. Inhale, set the hips low. This time, right knee over, right elbow under. If you can't twist your arms for palms to touch, the backs of the hands can touch as well. Getting tall through the crown, opening the chest, drawing the shoulders down the back, sitting the hips low. Last inhale. Sit on the exhale. Breathe in, rise and unwind. Good work. Shake out the hips. We're gonna make our way to our bellies. Breathing in, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, high plank, and lower all the way down. Right away, 3 baby cobras, tops of the feet ground. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, lower. Breathe and lift up using your back muscles and lower down. This time, inhale, lift the chest. Stay for the exhale. Hover the hands, draw the shoulder blades together. Keep breathing. Inhale, find height and lift. Exhale, lower down. Bring one ear to the mat. Maybe bend your knees and let your feet fall from side to side for a nice sacrum release. Staying with Cobra Pose, or maybe finding locust. Rooting the pelvis into the mat, grounding the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, lift the arms, and maybe lift the feet, drawing the ankle bones together. Keeping length through the neck. Inhale, getting long and tall. Really reaching through the back toes. And exhale, lower down, opposite ear to the mat. Again, bending the knees if that felt good the first time. And just taking a moment here to ground the front body. Bringing the gaze back to center, hands under the shoulders, gently push up to a tabletop position. Finding a gentle twist, extend the left arm parallel to the floor. Breathe in to open up, find a twist. Exhale, thread the needle, bringing the hand between the forearm and the thigh, and allowing the temple and the shoulder to rest down. Top arm can stay underneath the shoulder or reach out in front. Hips stay over the knees. Top hand comes underneath the shoulder, pressing back up to a tabletop. And finding the second side. Right arm reaches out, inhale to open up, and exhale to thread the needle. Again, top arm can reach out, or maybe for a greater twist, you can wrap it around the lower back. If this doesn't work for your neck, you can drop the hips back to meet the heels. Just more of a shoulder stretch here. Bringing the hand underneath the shoulder, come back up to tabletop. Shift the feet out to the side to come to a comfortable seat. Setting up for a butterfly pose. Rooting the sits bones firmly into the mat. Soles of the feet come together. If this doesn't work for your knees, feel free to take an open V. You'll still get the forward fold stretch. So from here, getting tall again. And as you exhale, begin to walk the hands forward until you feel a nice, healthy stretch. And pausing there. Sending the breath wherever you may be feeling sensation. And with each exhale, maybe softening down. Maybe you allow the back to round, allow the head to go. If you're holding on to your feet, try not to pull yourself down. And just allow it to be a passive stretch. Begin to walk your hands back up to a tall spine, closing your knees like a book, and finding some windshield wipers, allowing the knees to fall side to side. And as your hips shift forward, allow yourself to come onto your back, hugging the knees into the chest. Maybe you find gentle sacrum massage, bringing your knees in circles in one direction and then the other. And allowing your feet to rest on the mat just out of reach of your fingertips. Taking care to keep your gaze forward, setting up for bridge pose. If you do have to look at the screen, please come out of the pose. Rooting down firmly through the feet and firmly through the upper arm bones. And breathing in to begin to lift the hips. Maybe you can shift the shoulders underneath the torso to open up the chest. Drawing the thighs together to lift the pelvis up. Find 3 breaths here. side vertebrae nice and slowly resting down. Drawing the knees back into the chest and allowing them to fall to the right side for a gentle twist. Arms can come out to a T and gaze can come over the opposite shoulder. Try to keep the opposite shoulder planted into the mat. If it's lifting up, your twist may be too deep. You should be supported and allowing gravity to do the work here, releasing any tension in the ribs or the hips to rest down. Breathing, come back to center and finding the second side. Again, just releasing everything down. And drawing your knees back through center. Taking any movements you need here before your final Shavasana. Maybe you hug the knees back into the chest. Maybe you reach for the soles of your feet and draw the knees in towards the armpits for happy baby. A nice hip stretch, pressing the sacrum down into the mat. And when you're ready, taking your knees and legs nice and long, palms reach down by the side, and open to receive energy from the room. And just release everything down, allowing the mat to support you here in your Shavasana. Notice the parts of your body that touch the mat and where there are spaces between yourself and the mat. Releasing any tension between the eyebrows, in the jaw, allowing the tongue to rest softly. Taking a full breath in here, clearing it away, and staying here on your mat with your breath for the next 2 minutes. And I'll let you know when Shavasana is over. If there are any thoughts that come through your mind, just notice them and let them go. staying exactly as you are for as long as you need. We're beginning to wake up the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes, ankles and the wrists. Maybe you reach the arms up overhead for a full body stretch, pointing the toes, waking up for the second time today. Using the arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side for fetal position. And pressing into the top hand to push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Gaze can be softer, eyes can be closed. Allowing the hands to rest on the knees. Taking a full final breath in together, breathing in. And let it go. Bringing hands to prayer in gratitude for your practice, for your mind, body, and breath. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.